What's going on, Tamers? East here. So this video is the third video in a best of 3 set between WarGreymon and Red Hybrid from the BT12 set. If you haven't seen the first set of videos, definitely go check them out because there's some really interesting things and some really good takeaways, I think, from those videos if you're playing either of these decks or if you're playing against either of these decks. This time around, WarGreymon is going to be going first, and we get the nice little Agumon up as well as the Tide Tamer turn 1. We're going to get so much value off of going to 3 memory every single turn. That's going to allow us to really turbo out to our WarGreymons. Meanwhile, on the other side here, Red Hybrid also has a pretty decent start here getting the Flamemon down, and also their own Takia Kambata Tamer here, who's also going to set them at 3 memory every single turn. And then for an aggressive deck like this, you definitely want to get something on the board turn 1. So we're going to drop another Flamemon here, and that's going to be the one that allows us to search out. The choice here is actually kind of tough, but I think I'm going to end up going with the Agunimon here just because I don't want to give WarGreymon any time to set up, knowing that they have the Tide Tamer on the board who's already going to give them security attack +1. So playing the Agunimon and being able to get to that Agunimon who can drop a Flamemon whenever he's destroyed presents more pressure on the board. As things shift over back toward the WarGreymon player's side here, now they're staring down a ton of pressure, potentially 3 swings next turn, but this is an X-Antibody deck, so we have to build our stack, and that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to get that Greymon down, who's going to give us another security attack +1. So right now we're looking at a Digimon, when they get to level 5, it's probably going to have 3 to 4 security attacks. And then just for a little bit more search here to find some of our pieces, we're going to be playing the new BT12 Agumon, who this guy's a fantastic card. Search 4, get a Tamer and a Greymon named card. Unfortunately here we don't find a Tamer to pull from, but we already have a Tide Tamer up, so it's okay. The question here is, what do I want to take as far as the Greymon card? Now, I think that the level 5 here will be really good, but also X-Antibody Greymon is kind of hard to ignore, so we're going to pick up him. Considering Red Hybrid has really easy access to Digimon Destruction, picking this up is actually a really good choice. And considering we also have the Greymon in Raising, this becomes a 0-cost Digivolve for us later on. Things are going to shift back over to the Red Hybrid player side here, and they're going to start their turn at 3 memory because of that new Takia Kambata Tamer. Fantastic addition to the deck here, much needed as well. And if I can just maneuver my Flamemon through traffic here, now we're in position to really get our offense going. Now, typically, just going to run some of these guys in here. So the Flamemon here going to just run in. Later on, he's going to be useful for if I can find an Emperor Greymon. And because he checks an 8,000 metal Greymon here, he's not long for this world. Luckily, though, he does have the Digitama here, the Yokomon, which allows me to draw a card if I have a Tamer. So that's 1 card added to the hand there. Now the question is, do I want to Digivolve this Flamemon or do I want to run him in? Tough choice. Looks like I am going to Digivolve here. Remember, I picked up the Agunimon, who's a 2-cost Digivolve here. So now I have the option of either running this guy in and getting a Flamemon, or what I could do instead is to get rid of that Agumon and Digivolve him into a Burning Greymon, which allows me to destroy a 4,000 DP Digimon on my opponent's side of the board or lower. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Now that I've made my opponent's board nice and tidy, nice and clean, the only thing left to do is go and chomp on some of those delicious security, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So 6,000 DP check here means this guy is probably not long for this world, unfortunately. And yeah, as I suspected, another 8,000 DP Metal Greymon X-Antibody is going to get checked there. I'm getting kind of scared at this point because I've seen 2 level 5s, and there's only 8 in the deck, so I got to be really careful if I don't have level 5 here. Can't forget the Agunimon Inheritance effect, though. Going to allow me to play the BT7 Takia Kambata Tamer. And then to seal off the turn, I'm just going to drop a Bokomon. Bokomon's such a great way to end a turn, or just have something on board so you can really get those cheap Digivolution costs off of your Tamers in following turns. Additionally, he's a 5-card search, which is very rare in this game. It allows you to pull 2 things off of it. Now, I had a tough choice to make there, but I think I'm going to grab the level 5 Aldemon there. There's not many in the deck at all. I only run 4 copies of that guy, foregoing the Emperor Greymon. As a player, it's good to take a look at the choices your opponent makes off of some of these searches because it kind of gives you an idea of what is already in their hand. So seeing my opponent forego an Emperor Greymon for something smaller kind of gives me an idea that maybe he already has one, right? And with that information, or at least that idea, plus the board that I'm staring down, I cannot afford to sit back anymore with my Greymon here. So I have to bring him out, and we have to start to use him to manage the board a little bit. So first off, we're going to evolve into the Greymon X-Antibody I picked up earlier in the game. This is going to give me some defense if he does end up dropping that Emperor Greymon. The question is, can I get to level 5s? Thank God. Considering I checked 2 level 5s, it's great that I had a Metal Greymon in hand. And he's going to be a 3-cost Digivolve, but this one is a great Metal Greymon. If you don't have a Tide Tamer on board, you can swing with this guy, change your target, and then play a Tide Tamer. Luckily, I've already got one, though, so it's fine here. And going 1 level beyond, we're going to Digivolve that into the Metal Greymon X-Antibody. Now, he's going to give me security attack +1 on top of everything I already have, and he's going to give me plus 3,000 DP because I have a Metal Greymon in his sources. Now this, combined with the Tide Tamer, which gives me security attack +1 if I have 4 or more source cards, and the inheritance effect of the Greymon means that I'm checking 4 security at a time here. And this is one of the things that makes this deck so scary and so powerful. The ability for all this burst damage in a single turn off of just 1 stack like this. Now, the question that I have right now is I'm at 0 memory and I can eat up 4 security no problem. The question is, how can I mitigate all of my risks on board? Here you see me taking a little bit of time to think, because I think to myself, maybe I should have actually just kept the Metal Greymon and then swung in and used his raid ability to attack into the Bokomon. But I've already gone past that part, so I'm going to treat this as if it were a real tournament match, so I'm not going to take that back, and I'm just going to swing at security here, because that's all I really can do with this Digimon. So that means we're going to check 4 security, going to eat all these up. Pretty much nothing, I don't think that can stop me. And yeah, like I said before, I have security attack +3, so I'm checking 4. Another Flamon weak boy, another Flamon weak boy, and the last one here is going to be, let's see it. Ooh, the Takia Kambata Tamer. This is actually a really, really bad hit for security check. And the fact that it's a BT7 Takia Tamer means that he can use up all of those hybrids that I just sunk into the trash through my security swings to get to an Emperor Greymon immediately for 3 memory. Where before I had a pretty good idea of how I could have sealed this turn off, now having 3 Tamers plus the Bokomon around makes things a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to need a little bit of time to think here what my best play is going to be. I think it was definitely a make or break moment for the game, knowing that the threat of the Takia Tamer could have been in security. Would you have made the same play here? Let me know in the comments below. Keep in mind that this deck does run the Black WarGreymon, the WarGreymon that is from BT12, and also the Black WarGreymon X Antibody. But here I'm going to go into the Black WarGreymon, and because of his effect, I can only destroy 2 cost 3 targets. That's either a Tamer or the Bokomon on the field. Here I decide to get rid of one of the Takia Kambata Tamers, the BT7 ones, as well as the Bokomon. This way it makes it a little bit harder for him to get multiple Emperor Greymons on the field, because keep in mind I do have the protection from my Greymon X Antibody in case he does drop an Emperor Greymon to try and destroy me. The harsh reality of this move is that I am giving my opponent 4 memory to work with, and with 2 Tamers on the board, if he does get to 1 Emperor Greymon, he can still swing with it, and I only have 3 security, and that's really problematic because that Emperor Greymon can take out all my security in one go. The question though is, how can I finish the game after that Emperor Greymon? And that play I just mentioned there is great, but it only leaves me on 1 memory, and this deck typically needs 2 memory to make an extra swing in like 90% of cases. So now I have to think about another way to either find the cards that I need, or make that last security swing after the Emperor Greymon is already attacked. And to do that, I might have to employ the new BT12 Takia Tamer, which gives you back memory whenever it checks security. Provided, of course, I have 10,000 DP or more, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. I'm going to first go into the Agunimon. Agunimon, only 5k DP, and plus the 2,000 from the Takia Tamer only puts him at 7,000, so I still need to find a bit more damage here, a bit more power to actually get that effect off. And one way to do that is the Aldemon that I picked up much earlier in the game. Now his 8,000 plus his 4,000 off of his own effect, plus the 2,000 from Takia, puts me well over that 10,000 limit to get my memory back. And we're going to check the security here. I'm pretty much expecting him to just live no matter what. There's not much in this deck that would have destroyed him at this point, and it's just going to be an Agumon, so yeah, definitely going to live. Like I said before, Takia's going to give us back the 2 memory. That puts us back at 3, which means we can Digivolve this BT7 Takia directly into an Emperor Greymon and make that security swing to drop our opponent down to 0 security for the turn. The problem is, what am I going to do after that? And considering I have Digimon on the board, and this Black WarGreymon has Piercing, and it has the ability to unsuspend itself, means that I could die next turn if I don't do something. I think it's important to bring up here how it is really difficult to play against yourself when you're like testing games like this and be impartial, because in response to Emperor Greymon trying to destroy my Black WarGreymon with its effect, I could remove the Greymon X Antibody and the Greymon and keep my Piercing from the Metal Greymon, but this is a riskier play, and I'm trying to play as if I don't know what my opponent's hand is, so the safe route here is actually getting rid of the Metal Greymon, so I'm going to lose my ability to gain Piercing, but I am going to keep my Black WarGreymon on the board, which means I am going to live to fight another day. And if this Emperor Greymon does swing in, then I could technically run into both of these guys in the following turn and take them out. This Emperor Greymon is going to swing into my security though, taking out these last 2 remaining security there. Keep in mind he does have 3 security checks, 1 from his own effect, and then plus 1 from the Takia Tamer as well. We checked the Tide Tamer there, but that guy is way too late to the party. He doesn't really have much of use at this point, considering my opponent only has 1 security left anyway. And in a legendary act of betrayal here, Omnimon is going to betray the Greymon line and take one home for Red Hybrid. I gotta say that the big difference maker here was the ability for me to draw so many cards off of all the Digivolutions at the very end there to actually dig that Omnimon out of my deck, because there are not many copies of him. I say that if there was a lesson you could take away from this game is to always play to your outs. No matter how slim the margin of success might look, it's always worth it to give it a shot. And sometimes your deck does just reward you. With that said, I hope that you folks did enjoy this best of 3 series between WarGreymon and Red Hybrid from the BT12 series. I love making these videos, but they do present a significant time investment in not only the video recording, but also the editing as well as the audio overlays which you're listening to right now. So for that reason, if you did enjoy this video, please do me a favor and like the video as well as share it with friends out there who might enjoy this similar kind of content. Anyways folks, I'm going to get out of here. Before you get out of here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.